This man only sneezed once, and 73 metal blades suddenly fell from the sky. He was just about to warn his dad to move, but turned around to see his dad frozen on the horse. At the hospital, they discovered a coin had somehow lodged itself deep into his skull. His dad died on the spot. The doctor said it might have been someone dumping objects from a plane. But Jack knew no planes ever flew over their farm. He was convinced it had to be a UFO. To find out the truth, Jack set up a dozen cameras pointed at the sky overnight. That very night, he actually saw a flying saucer. Jack rushed back excitedly to check the footage, but a bug had landed right in front of the lens. He was so angry he couldn't sleep all night. A photo of the UFO could be sold to TV stations for $1 million, but this fortune had slipped right through his fingers. But the next day, the man who installed the cameras gave him a call, saying something strange showed up on one of their cameras. The man eagerly fast-forwarded the footage. That's when they noticed no matter how the weather changed, there was one white cloud that never moved at all. Jack stepped outside and suddenly remembered, that cloud had been in the same spot for half a year. Turns out, the aliens had been watching them all along. His sister got scared. She begged Jack to move away from the creepy farm. But Jack felt he couldn't miss the chance to capture the UFO on film. He kept watching that cloud until nightfall. Suddenly the horse panicked and ran off. He got up and looked, and saw the cloud was sucking up creatures from the ground. The force was so strong, it created a tornado. The next second, Jack seemed to have been spotted. It flew straight toward Jack. Jack used the chance to lure the UFO near the cameras, but wherever the UFO went, all power would shut down. That meant the cameras wouldn't work either. In the end, Jack hid in the stable, and barely escaped. Watching the UFO leave, Jack came up with a clever plan to photograph it, but he didn't realize he had completely enraged the aliens. The next morning, a circus show was underway at the amusement park. Just as the actor dressed as an alien was about to enter, a real alien spacecraft appeared in the sky. To calm the crowd, the staff claimed it was part of the performance. But the next second, all power in the park went out. The UFO opened its huge mouth, and sucked up all the sand from the ground. Everyone who looked it in the eye was pulled up and eaten. Amid horrifying screams, the park was left in ruins. By the time Jack arrived, only a black horse remained in the park. Jack realized it had to be the same UFO from yesterday, but what he didn't know was that the UFO was now headed straight for his farm. His sister was on the phone at home when the power suddenly went out. Strange chewing sounds came from the sky. The distant sky was perfectly clear, but it was pouring rain just around the house. She looked closer, and saw it wasn't rain but blood. Jack was shocked when he returned. The UFO was chewing above the house. Bits of metal were falling from the sky. That's when Jack realized, all the strange objects that had fallen from above, were things the UFO couldn't digest. And the UFO only ate those who made eye contact with it. Since the only one spared at the park was the black horse that never looked up. Now that he understood how the UFO operated, Jack devised a perfect plan to capture it on film. He filled the farm with inflatable dolls. Since the UFO killed all power wherever it went, he could tell where it was by which dolls deflated. Because normal cameras needed electricity, they borrowed a hand-crank camera from an old man. Everyone also stopped using phones, and switched to radio pagers. Once everything was ready, Jack played animal sounds over the speakers to lure the UFO out. Sure enough, the dolls in the southeast corner collapsed. It showed the UFO had given in to the bait, and appeared there. Just as the plan was about to succeed, a mysterious biker rode into the farm. Turned out he also knew a UFO had shown up here, and came hoping to take pictures of it. But clearly, he had no idea how dangerous it actually was. Ignoring the sister's warnings, he drove right into the farm. Suddenly, a shadow appeared in the sky. All the dolls under it deflated instantly. The man's motorbike also stalled and crashed. Luckily, the UFO just passed over. Jack had no choice but to ride out and rescue him. But by then the man's body was broken all over. He couldn't even stand up. So Jack helped him up. But suddenly all the dolls on the farm collapsed. Through the reflection on the man's helmet, Jack saw the UFO descending toward the ground. He panicked and ran as fast as he could. The man on the ground was sucked into the UFO's vortex in seconds. Jack jumped on his horse and kept riding. But there was no way a horse could outrun a UFO. At the last moment, he stopped moving. Then bowed his head, held his breath, and avoided eye contact. Under the enormous pressure of the alien craft, Jack felt his heart about to burst. But the trick actually worked. The UFO only devoured creatures that looked it in the eye. And just like that, They managed to capture a photo of the UFO. As everyone began to cheer, the old man felt the photo wasn't dramatic enough, so he took the camera and tried to get a close-up. The UFO got furious immediately. It launched another tornado attack, and sucked the old man up in an instant. After its feast, it even changed its form. Seeing Jack in danger, his sister quickly jumped on the motorcycle. She shouted loudly to draw the UFO's attention. She led the UFO all the way to the amusement park, then released the rope holding a giant balloon mascot. As the mascot floated upward, its playful look seemed to mock the UFO. The enraged UFO swallowed it whole, and the sister used the hand-cranked camera to capture it on film again. When the giant balloon was swallowed, it exploded violently inside the UFO. With a massive boom, the UFO shattered into pieces. The sister jumped up in excitement. Through the smoke, she saw her brother's silhouette. Together the siblings had used their wits and bravery to defeat the mysterious UFO, and captured a photo worth $1 million.